Hi, it's Thomas Grønnemark, the throwing coach. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the secrets of the long throw-in. I've been a throwing coach for 20 years and I've been a part of 14 titles in international football with clubs like Liverpool FC, Ajax Flamingo, FC Midtjylland, Philadelphia Union, and Toulouse FC. I've been coaching a lot of teams punching above their weight, so it means that they have been performing much better than the economy normally will say they do. And also been a part of a lot of promotions from lower leagues up to the first league. But again, this video is about the long throw-in. And first of all, I'll say that when I'm coaching in the clubs, I'm focusing on 30 different technical parameters. Here, I'm learning the players to throw more efficient so they can throw longer, but also flatter if you want to use that as a set piece weapon. I'm also working with throw-in strategy and tactics and advising the coaches around the team in that too. Most of my players are improving between 5 and 15 meters if they're coaching with me over a period. Some improve a lot after one session, and other players needs a little bit more. A good example here is a guy called Sargon Duran from Austria. When he came to me in Denmark individually, he could throw around 25 meters. But after a couple of sessions, he improved to 40 meters, and here you can see his throw. So a really great improvement by Sargon. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different results I've been making with clubs. So let's take FC Midtjylland first from Denmark. And the first example is Kian Hansen. When I started with him, he could throw 30 meters and 70. And even though that's quite good, it was a really high throw in. It wasn't that dangerous. He improved to almost 37 meters, but the last improvement there, that was actually that the ball came like a rocket. In the last 4 years I was with FC Midtjylland, they scored 35 goals on long throw-ins, so almost 9 per season. And Kian Hansen assisted the 34 of those 35 goals. The numbers you can see here with bold, so 1480 and 2115 and plus 635, that's the throw-in area. So imagine you're standing in the middle of the pitch and you can throw in 180 degrees. So you can calculate that area by saying radius times pi, that's the whole circle, and then you have to divide it with 2, then you have the half circle. And we'll come to that later because that's actually also really important, not only for fullbacks, but also for teams in general regarding pressure. And so there are a couple of other young guys here from FC Midtjylland, like you can see here, improving 8 meters and 70, improving 12 meters and 25, and those players have both been assisting goals for Danish Super League teams. And for example, the first championship that FC Midtjylland they won, Kian Hansen was in quarantine and they had to win the last game. So FC Midtjylland won 1-0 in that game, secured the championship, and it was actually Master here who assisted that goal after a long throw-in. So it shows that it's just so important to have several players who can throw far. Another good story from FC Midtjylland was Andreas Paulsen, who improved almost 14 meters, and it's only technical development here. So from 24.25 to 37.90 meters. He was sold in 2018 to Borussia Mönchengladbach for around 5 million euros, and he was only 18 years old at that time. So, of course, good for him, good for FC Midtjylland, good for their economy too. And it just shows that here in FC Midtjylland, I coach both the first team, but also the academy. So some of the last players you see here, that was from the academy too. So that's actually really important to be able to throw a lot, to train a lot of players here. And Kian Hansen, he was actually a central defender, so it doesn't have to be fullback you're coaching. It could also be any other positions, because can they throw far enough, then it's really valuable. But again, FC Midland scored 35 long throwing goals in my last 4 seasons in the club there, from 2015 to 2018, won 2 championships and 1 cup in that period. A couple of other great examples here is from AC Horsens in Denmark. They already have really great throwers like 34, 35, and a lot of teams make that mistakes and coaches make that mistakes, that they think, oh, we already have great throwers, we don't have to do anything about it. But I was headhunted to the club, and you can see they improved like 4 to 6 meters approximately. And even though they were really good from the start, they could both, Mikkel Kvist and Mads Bech, um, throw now around 40 meters plus minus. That season where I was in AC Horsens, they scored 10 long throwing goals in the Danish Superliga. Mads Bech, he also later played for Brentford. I've been coaching him in several periods in Brentford, because I've been working for Brentford FC in the English Premier League for 4 years. So he has actually been assisting goals both in the Danish Super League, in Brentford, the Premier League several times, and now Mads Bech is actually back in FC Midland in Denmark, now assisting long throwing goals there. So again, are you already great? It doesn't mean that you can't be even better. Then we have some examples here. This is from Kolding, my local club. I just moved to the city here 2 years ago together with my wife and my kids. And you can see 2 kinds of examples here. Dalton Wilkins, when I came to the club, he has like okay throw in, but the challenge was that it wasn't long enough, and he also made like a fault throw in quite often. It wasn't um, given by the referee, but you never know. He lifted his last leg, so he improved 4 meters and 20, and it came like a rocket. And to be honest, that's the kind of player who throw even longer in a match. So really great. I also coached Simon Trian. He improved from 27 meters. He actually came to me as a young player, and then I coached him also in Kolding too, and he improved all in all 11 meters and 30. In 2023, Kolding scored 12 long throwing goals, and they also scored an other throwing goals with the fast and the clever throw-in too. So throw-ins were a really dangerous weapon for Kolding. They actually got, when I came to Kolding, they were like in the bottom of the third league. But in my first half year, they stayed in the third league. And then last summer, they promoted to the second league in Denmark, and currently are number 6 as a new team in the league. So really well done. So throw-ins, really important weapon. And then my last example is Andy Robertson from Liverpool. This just shows that I'm coaching a lot of clubs where they're not using the long throw-in as a set-piece weapon. But Andy Robertson, when I came to Liverpool FC, where I was for 5 years, he could only throw 19 meters and 80. And that's really short. And it meant that every time Liverpool had a throw-in the left side of the pitch, it was really easy to put the Liverpool under pressure, because the pitch was small. He couldn't throw any further. So too much pressure. Andy Robertson improved to 27 meters. And even though he'll never be one of the best in the world, at least not regarding the long throw-in, at least with length, then he improved his throwing area with more than 500 square meters, exactly 530, like you can see on the right side there. And if you put Andy Robertson's improvement together with his abilities in the fast and clever throw in, the decision making too, then I consider him as one of the best throw-in takers in the world. So again, no matter if you don't use the long throw-in as a set piece weapon, it can be really, really important for your team to let at least your fullbacks improve their throw-in length, and then of course the area too, because it means they can throw to many more players on the pitch. So how do I help the teams? I help teams in different ways. First of all, if it's the professional teams, I'm normally starting with a 2-day inspirational visit. Of course, some teams have been there for many years. Liverpool FC 5 years, Brentford 4 years, Brighton 3 years, Union in Belgium, the top team now. They came from the second league to the first league, and the first time in 58 years. 3 seasons. Toulouse in France, 3 seasons. So you don't, you can get more than just one visit for me. But most clubs start with a 2-day inspirational visit. So first of all, I had communication with the club around playing style, formation, other things. Normally with the head coach, the manager, assistant coaches, sporting director, analysis people, or someone else. So then I know a lot about how is the club, the playing style. Then I get some throw-ins, a game or two, and then I analyze the throw-ins so I can see the strength and the weaknesses. And then I use that knowledge to do a talk when I arrive in the club. So it's a mixture of my knowledge around the throw-ins, how to win a match with the throw-in, but also clips from the specific team here. And then when I'm in the club too, I do in this 2-day inspirational visit, I do 2 times 30 to 60 minutes throwing coaching. And it can be like the theme is here, the long throw-in, but it can also be the fast and clever throw-in, or a mixture of both. And that's tailor-made throwing coaching. So I'm doing different things from club to club. Are you a professional club or several clubs who want to go together? I recommend you to invite me, because you get, of course, the best value there. You get the best improvement of the team. But because there are so many youth and amateur teams around the world, and I can't visit all, then I've also made an online course. And this is, I have like a throw-in academy coaching license C, B, and A. So C, that's all the basic around how can you improve your long throw-in, the basic stuff. How can you create space as a team? How can you use some of those basic throw-in tools? In the B license, we go up to more complex things, like also like screens and blocks, pick and rolls from basketball, also complex long throw-in, and also fast throw-ins, also with interval drills and so. And then in the A, we go more into the different zone strategy tactics, both with the fast and clever all around the pitch, but also long throw-in tactics too. But again, no matter what, if you have seen the whole video here, I really appreciate that. If you want more knowledge, you're welcome to go into throwinacademy.com. That's my homepage, where you can see everything around my throwing coaching, my visits in the club, my seasonal contracts in the clubs, but also my online course. Do you have any questions? Then you're absolutely welcome to write it in the comments. And then I'll just wish you a fantastic day. Bye bye.